So today we're going to get a top dress here on the Tiftuf. No, I'm not doing it by hand. It's half an acre. Stuff that. We'll be doing it with the Eco 250 today. Doing this whole area, going to get rid of all those dips, undulations, just all the nasty spots. So it looks nice and level, and it's really nice to mow as well. It just looks pure. Anyway, let's get into it. Yo mate, what up? Welcome to another lawn tip vid. So today we're going to be top dressing this whole area with some sand. The main reason is to help level it out. Get rid of some of those nasty low spots that are in here. It's not that bad, to be honest. There's just a few here and there from when we laid the turf. As you can see, that's a good example. That spot just there is just low, and the mower dips in and scalps that area. So we're trying to get rid of those areas. We're not trying to get it like pool table flat, like absolutely perfect, but we're trying to get rid of those nasty spots. So a spot like that, I'll just drop a shovel full of sand in there. But areas across the whole area, I'll just put about 10 mil of sand across the area. So generally I aim for about a cube of sand across 100 square meters, and they will get you that 10 mil thickness. Always good to get a little bit extra, just for those really, really low spots that you want to cover. Now with couch grass or Tiftuf like this, you can absolutely cover it and it will grow through it. Same with Kikuyu. Can't do it with buffalo, can't do it with ryegrass. You can do it a little bit with Kentucky bluegrass, cannot do it with tall fescue. Blue couch, yeah, you've got to be a little bit careful, but you can cover it a bit more. I'm only going to go light today because it's going to cost me a lot of money to do a really heavy top dress in one hit on this whole area. So bit by bit throughout the season, probably do this one this year and the start of spring. I'll give this a bit of a reno and give it a nice heavy top dress then as well. But the main goal is to get rid of these spots because they're low and they just scalp, especially this spot here. Like that is probably a good 20 mil lower just there than it is here. So when it comes to choosing what material you want to use, I highly recommend using sand because it will not break down over time. When you're looking for sand, just make sure it's not too coarse, it's not too fine. There is a good blend there. If it's too fine, it's going to compact quite a bit. Too coarse, it's not going to retain any moisture, so you've got to get a nice little blend there. You can use a sandy loam, but the reason I'd prefer sand is just because it will not break down over time. Ignore those nasty weeds there. It's bad, it's like a cabbage patch. We'll get that fixed soon, but we're gonna go get some sand now with a skiddy and just start doing it. Let's rip into it. So top dressing is all done now with the spreader, which I'm glad that's done. Still took me nearly 2 hours to do that. Oh, an hour and a half, about an hour and a half, which is not bad for nearly half an acre. We're gonna use this for the like really, really heavy spots, really, really unlevel spots, sorry. See how the lawn level just levels it out super nicely, and don't be scared of doing this, as I've said before with couch grass and Kikuyu as well, because it'll grow straight through it. You'll see in a couple of days that will nearly have grown through that. So that's what I'm focusing on mostly with the thick top dress, is just gonna use this like a wheelbarrow and drop it into the really, really big holes. The rest of the area, as I said, isn't that bad. I'll show you how thick I put the top dress down. So you can see here how thick we put it down. It's not light, but it's not uber heavy either, like it just drops down below the canopy. You gotta realize too, the grass is a little bit long at the moment because we've been mowing it a bit taller. But it does just drop down through there. Now, I'm not gonna run the lawn level over this whole area because it'll take me ages. I'm just gonna water it in. We've actually got some rain coming this afternoon, so the rain should really help it settle down below the grass blades, down to the soil level. And the only spots I'm gonna use the lawn level on is obviously these really, really thick areas like this. Now, there's only a few of them, believe it or not. I'd say there's probably about 10 across the whole area, so let's get to it. Right, so that is all done. I'll continue to do that throughout the rest of the season and into next year. I'll obviously do a really big, heavy top dress when I do a reno, when I core, aerate, scalp it back, scarify it, all that stuff. I'll actually do a really, really heavy top dress, if we can get that much sand, of course, across this whole area. But yeah, this will grow through pretty quick. I mean, if your lawn wasn't actively growing, but it's still growing a bit, you could push a bit of high nitrogen fertilizer, like some Dominate, or even some Enhance if you got some liquid Enhance. That's one way to help it push through that sand as well. Make sure you keep the water up to it, water it regularly, and then just keep an eye on it. I probably can't get a mow on this, probably for a week. Most of it should push through. These heavy areas, I will just avoid mowing altogether so we don't get any sand in the cylinders. But the rest of it will settle after the rain this afternoon, which we're supposed to get 10 mil, and I'll do a follow-up water tomorrow as well if we don't get a ton of rain. Yeah, that's about it with sanding and top dressing. Super handy way to get on top of your leveling and to get that nice pristine surface. That's gonna be awesome to use a cylinder mower with. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Appreciate you so much, and I'll see you very soon.